actually can't cope. So. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today I thought that we could have a reading vlog for today's video. So I thought for today's reading vlog, we are going to be doing how many hours can I read as someone who has a full-time job. Now, obviously we're on Bank Holiday Monday. I have done a lot of stuff. I went to Bath today shopping with Matt's mum, which was really, really nice. And I've just had a lot of stuff that I needed to do. And it's currently around 3:30, I want to say. It's around 3:30. I'm just going to check on it's about 3:15 at the moment. And I have not read anything yet as of today. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start off with Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. So I'm probably going to try and get a good chunk of this book read. It is, let me just see how many pages it is. It is it's just 369 pages. Okay, so it's 369 pages. I want to try and get to half of the book today, or as close to halfway as I can. If we can try and get halfway, that would be really good. And I really want to start the series. The series has been on my TBR mentally for so long, and I just feel like it's only right to read it. And my mum's and Matt's mum really recommended reading it, so I think it's only fair that we start with this book. I think for this week, I want to try and average for about 3 books, and I usually can do that, but I am on later starts so this week, so I don't know how much I'm going to get done, but we are definitely going to start with Kerry Maniscalco, Kingdom of the Wicked. I think I'm going to go downstairs, make a drink, get cozy, get comfy, and then maybe look at starting this book. Yeah, I think that is the plans. I don't really know what books to read this week. I think I'm just going to go off what I'm feeling at the time. So we may have some rereads. We may just read off my TBR. I have got a couple that keep calling my name out. So I think we're just going to take it as it comes, and we're going to start Kingdom of the Wicked. So I feel like I'm going to stop rambling, and we're just going to get into it. So I thought I would give you a little bit of an update because I did not update you on Monday or Tuesday, I believe. So I feel like we need to do a big update on where we are. So I'm going to pull up on my iPad how many hours I have read so far. So on Sunday, or was it Monday? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. So on Monday, we read for 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 51 seconds. And in that, I got to about 70% the way through Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco. And guys, I was obsessed with this book. And then on Tuesday, so yesterday, We read for 52 hours, 38 minutes. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I then finished this book. I was obsessed. I was so obsessed with this book, guys. I cannot tell you. It literally didn't take me long to finish this book. I think it worked out at just under like 2.5 hours. But I was obsessed. I was at 3.5 hours, sorry, and I was obsessed. So in this book, we are following two sisters called Amelia and Vittoria, and Vittoria ends up being killed. Basically, she ends up doing some deals with the devil and she ends up being killed. And basically what happens is her sister tries to find out exactly what had happened, and she ends up meeting this kind of prince slash god, and he is called Wrath, and he's kind of one of the wicked princes. So it all basically goes off like the sins, basically, so like greed, wrath, pride, lust, and things like that. So we did finish this, and I rated this a 4-star, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I really like the chemistry and the connection of the book. I feel like Amelia did do my heading a little bit. I feel like she was a little bit like, I shouldn't be kissing you, but I really want to. Yeah, that part of the book did frustrate me, but I do really, really want to continue the series, and I am very, very intrigued to see currently what the series or the rest of the series will bring. And then this morning I read for just over an hour, and we started Revolve by Balcabra, which is a kind of ice hockey kind of romance, sport romance. It's like ice skating, hockey in a university setting. So we are following Sierra. Yes, Sierra, and she's a figure skater. She's had a big accident, and she basically is terrified of being back on the ice. She'll go on the ice, but she's just a little bit terrified. She's a little bit wobbly on the ice. And then you meet Dylan, and Dylan is basically on the ice hockey team for Dalton University, and he's a bit of a party boy, a bit of a frat boy, does hockey, and basically what happens is he does a bit of reckless behaviour and it endangers his position on the ice hockey team. So you kind of see how he's navigating that. And I only read for an hour, and I got to page 64, chapter 10 this morning. So I'm not that far the way through it. So I'm only about that far in. And at the moment, guys, I am thoroughly enjoying this book. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm really loving this kind of series. And I've been so obsessed with this world and Balcabra's writing. Like when I read her books, I just sit and read. So I think for this evening, we are probably going to read for another maybe hour. And then I'm going to have some dinner. It's currently 5 o'clock at the moment. So I am planning on just going to finish kind of trying to get as much of this book as I can. I want to try and get halfway through this book or be a good chunk of the way through. So I think we're going to make a good progress. So I think I'm just going to continue reading this book, let you know my thoughts and feelings. And then I will probably catch you up kind of in the evening, like not that long before I go to bed, I think, just to kind of give you a rundown of today's. But for the total of how much we've read in the last kind of 2 to 3 days, we are currently at 4 hours, 18 minutes and 29 seconds. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I did think I was going to read more than this because I do tend to typically feel like I read more, but we are currently at 4 hours and we've already finished one book. So I'm pretty sure with the way that we're going, we can probably finish Revolve and maybe get through another book because I'm planning on this video going up to Friday. So we will probably get Revolve finished within either tomorrow, most likely. So I'm just going to stop yapping, guys, and we're just going to read my book. I thought I would kind of give you a little update because it's been a couple of days since I updated you. So, for context, it's Friday, guys, and I'm just about to sit down for the first time and actually read my book because I'm not gonna lie, when I woke up this morning, I snoozed my alarm, so I didn't read this morning like I normally do. But we finished Revolve by Balcabra last night, and I was obsessed, guys. I absolutely love this book. I rated it a 4 star, and I genuinely, it just reminds me how much like I genuinely love this whole series, and how I'm very excited for Embrace to come out in, I think it's August time. So I'm very, very excited. So in this one, we were following Sierra and Dylan, and Sierra is basically a figure skater. She then had an accident, and she then started having panic attacks and not really wanting to go on the ice, but still wanting to complete her dream of being an Olympic gold medalist and kind of performing in programs and things like that. So she was very much kind of on the wavelength that she wanted to get back out there. And Dylan basically, he messed up at his chance of getting into hockey due to something. I don't know if it is revealed on here, but he basically did some reckless behavior, and Dylan got kicked off the ice hockey team. Basically, he was told he wasn't allowed to play anymore. So he decides, in order to get kind of his reputation back for going back to hockey, he decides to be Sierra's partner in ice hockey. Not in ice hockey, sorry, in figure skating, and decides to join the program to do that. And you kind of watch their love story blossom both on and off the ice. And I just think it was so cute. They had quite a lot of banter, which also made me kind of laugh. And there was just moments where I was kicking and squealing and absolutely enjoying myself reading every minute of this book. So I rate this a 4 star, and I'm genuinely cannot wait. And I know how much I enjoy Bal Cabra's writing anyway, so whatever she wrote in a book, I would 100% read it, serve it on a golden platter, and I would read it. And then I did also start last night Watch Me by Tahira Mafi, which is the second book in the New Republican series, which is the spin off from Shatter Me. And I'm about that far the way through. So I got to page 126, chapter 14 last night. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm not really enjoying it as much as I did the first one. I think it's nice to see a lot more of the other characters like Kenji and Warner and things like that from the main one, and see Juliet and mentions of Juliet, which I do really, really like. But then I also think James is doing my head in already. Rosabella is just doing my head in. I just think the other two characters in this book is just doing my head in, guys. I'm not going to lie. But I think we can get a good chunk read. So let's just tally up. Bear in mind, it is currently 7:30 nearly. It's 7:25 nearly. So for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So Wednesday we read for 2 hours and 32 minutes. And then on Thursday we read for an hour and 53 minutes, and we are currently on total at 7 hours and 43 minutes, guys. I was hoping it was going to be more than this, but I do also know that when I'm on late, I do typically tend to read less than when I am on my earlies because I've got more time. Plus, I've also been in the office a lot more this week, so I haven't really had the chance to read that much because my office is a good half hour to 45 minutes away. So I don't usually tend to read that much when I'm in the office more. I dread to think how many hours of reading I would get done next week because I'm in the office all week next week, guys. But anyway, so yeah, we are currently sat at 7 hours and 43 minutes. And I'm hoping we can at least get to nearly like 80% of this book done because I would really like to finish this book either today or tomorrow. I'm kind of hoping that we can read a good amount. So this book is, I'm just getting it up, bear with me, is 384 pages, and we are at 126. So we've got about 100 and say 40 odd pages, so to speak, or 60 odd pages, something like that. I'm not mathing today, guys. So I'm hoping that we can get a good amount read and yeah, kind of get going really. I think it's more actually 240 pages actually, Rhiannon, not 100. It's about 240 pages to go. So I'm sure that we can get that done. And I think I'm going to stop rambling and I feel like I'm just going to get started with you guys. And yeah. So I thought I would give you guys some little mini updates about where we are in time. So it is Saturday morning now, and I'm going to tell you the amount of hours that I read yesterday, and then we're going to talk through all of the books, what I rate them, or what I thought of them, and then yeah, that's kind of the plan. So yesterday I read for 2 hours and 23 minutes, and in that time I did finish Release Me by Tahira Mafi, which I am very, very excited about. And I'm not gonna lie, I rated this a 3-star, guys. I'm not gonna lie, like I really enjoyed Kenji and Warner's banter. Like that for me was good. Like I really loved the banter of those two. But James was just a little bit whiny. He just annoyed me and I just didn't like him. And I think he's got in his mind that he knows best and I'm not gonna show he knows best and I'm gonna do what I want to do. And I do like the idea of him and Rosabella being together. Like I think he does calm her in a way, but I also think like by having that, I don't know if we're then recreating like a Shatter Me vibe, like a what's it, like an Adam and Warner Juliet situation where it's like, oh, you should be with him, but you shouldn't be. Like, no, I don't know if it's going to give me that vibe. I don't know. And it was really nice to see Nazira and Kenji as well kind of go through what actually happened and why they didn't end up together. If you haven't obviously read that, you got massive spoiler, sorry guys. But yeah, it was just really exciting to kind of see that and see that kind of talk explored because it was never really touched upon in the first one, and it was very much like I wanted to know what had happened. Was it just that she was always away, but actually you kind of saw what actually happened and things like that, which I thought was really nice. So in total we read for 10 hours and 6 minutes, guys. So that's how long we read for this week. I don't think that's too bad, considering that I was on finishing at 5 and I was at the office for 3 days this week. Sorry. So yeah, I was at the office for 3 days, 2 days at home. No, Monday was the bank holiday, wasn't it, this week? Was Monday bank holiday this week? Yeah. So I was in the office for Tuesday and Thursday. So I was in the office 2 days, was at home for 2 days, and also I had the bank holiday Monday, but I also was doing stuff like I would. So I don't think 10 hours is too bad. I think that's an average amount of time for me to read. And in that time, we did finish 3 books. So I thought that was pretty okay. I'm not going to lie. So the first book we read was Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco, and I really enjoyed this book. I cannot wait to see what happens. And I just really liked how the story was being told and the way that we were following the characters. Now, I think I did touch upon Amelia, did annoy me a little bit at the end, but I'm really excited to kind of see where the next book goes. And I think I will be reading the series sooner rather than later. I'm not going to lie now. And then we also read and finished Revolve by Balcahabra, and I was loving this. I was obsessed, and I just remember kind of when reading this how much I genuinely love Balcabra's writing and how much I will genuinely read whatever she puts out because I was obsessed with it, guys. I was obsessed with it. I think she creates one of the best kind of characters sometimes when it comes to ice skating. Like all of her characters and couples that she's created, I have genuinely enjoyed every single one of them. Like I have genuinely enjoyed from the bottom of my heart every single one of them. And I've rated all of her books 4 stars and above. Like I just cannot tell you how much I just genuinely enjoy her books. Like they are just so good. And I think if you are really wanting to look for like a hockey sports romance, and I totally recommend this series. I really do, guys. And then obviously we read Release Me, sorry, by Tahira Mafi. And I think we got a good chunk of our TBR done because all of these books were on my May TBR, which you would have known if you had watched my May TBR video. So we are flying through our TBR a little bit quicker than I thought. We've literally got 3 books left on our TBR for the month of May, and then we're done. So I think we definitely need to tackle the TBR cart, as that is definitely full. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed the rest of this video, and I hope that wherever you are in the world, morning, evening, afternoon, you have a lovely rest of your your time. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're already not already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.